Well, hey there, it's Lindsay Lawler, y'all, and welcome to We Should Write, a show about the healing power of writing. I'm your host, Lindsay Lawler. I'm a songwriter, a performer, and a longtime radio voice. I'm also a storyteller and a proud advocate for the incredible men and women of the trucking industry. And let me tell you, they've got stories. Okay, so We Should Write is where sarcasm meets soul. It's equal parts vulnerability and absurdity. We talk to songwriters, authors, and creatives of all kinds about how putting pen to paper help them heal, grow, and work their stuff out. Because let's be honest, writing is cheaper than therapy and way more, dare I say, honest. So take a breath. Now, let's get it out. Let's get into it because we should write, right? We should write. Welcome to We Should Write. Already, I'm going to say it's my favorite episode. Now, truth be told, I say it every time. But this episode today is really special, really exciting. I am Lindsay Lawler. I'm joined by some friends from the past, which is really funny. We were talking about when they got here earlier how it's I call it my soap opera friends. When you haven't seen someone for years and then all of a sudden you're back together and you're like, oh, I know, this feels right. It feels right. Today is special for a lot of reasons. First of all, we are stepping into a new era of We Should Write. We are on video now, so I no longer can be naked during the show. Or I can, but that's like that's behind the paid wall.
Waist down.
There's lights and there's camera and there's the whole thing. I have known Kassie and Ben, Kassie even longer, for years. We met, we go back to the Broadway days of Nashville. We were a little wilder, maybe, a little hungrier, a little more wide-eyed perhaps at the time. And Kassie and I were both singing downtown on Broadway. We actually, as we just realized this morning, we had one woman who sort of took a liking to us and saw us, which we'll talk about today, the idea when somebody sees you and it wakes you up. And that's been sort of a whole journey for me to be able to see others through seeing myself. Anyway, Kassie was singing downtown. She met Ben, who eventually was doing sound at a place that we love, the Listening Room in Nashville. And they blended their musical worlds, and we have today what is something really special. Now here they are, 16 years married, 3 albums deep. Called 1, 2, 3, with a 4th on the way. What's it going to be called?
4.
Okay. And recording in a van, living in that, not like a van down by the river, like something they chose to do, making music, making magic together on the road. Along the way, they've won the Rocky Mountain Songwriter Contest. They've been featured on Mountain Stage with Kathy Mattea on NPR, performed the national anthem at the Kansas City Chiefs game. Hello. Played festivals like Americana Fest and Merle Fest, etc. The list goes on. But what today is really special to me about, for a lot of reasons, it's because the show is so much about healing and connection, being able to like close the circle on somebody's story and what we've known and bringing it all together. So today we're going to talk about marriage, faith, memory, Nashville, Africa, and everything in between. Please make welcome to the show my friends, soon to be yours, Kassie and Ben of Goldpine. Hello.
Thanks.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You trekked all the way out here. And it's going to be a fun conversation. Now, guys, I like to start the show with a deep breath.
Okay.
This is as much for me as we have a lot of truck drivers who listen to the show, for people in wherever you are, wherever you're finding us right now. We're all going to take a deep breath together. So on the count of 3, so we don't go off the rails. This includes guys here in the studio. Seamus, Rich. We're going to take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3.
It's good.
So simple. It's so good, though, right?
It's so good.
Okay. And then with that, first question. You can both answer or answer as a team, however you feel like it. But what in this moment today, sitting here, are you grateful for? We'll go A, B.
Wow. I'm really grateful for Ben and just the husband that he is, the friend that he is, the man that he is. I've just recently been kind of just thinking about life, and I've had a lot of loss. And instead of trying to focus on what I don't have, I'm really just trying to be grateful for what I do have. And I don't know if that was like a choice that we could use each other, but I'm really grateful for you. Like, man, I would be so lost without you. And it's just an honor and a joy to get to do life with you. I love you. Love you. Yeah.
Wow, guys. I'll leave the room and come back in a little bit if that's helpful.
Also, top that. Follow that, killer.
Like wedding vows, which you got.
Wow.
You don't have to say her. Don't say her because that would be too cliche now.
Yeah.
All right.
We know.
Well, this goes along with your podcast here. I'm thankful for the arts and how people can express what they're feeling, express information, knowledge in a way that is really effectual to people. It makes people think about something, learn something, and feel something at the same time, which to me is the most powerful combination. I love being able to do. I love songwriting. I love doing that. Mm-hmm. It's a powerful way to connect.
And then the other side of that coin, what is heavy on you guys right now? Besides the obvious weights of the world and
yeah.
Let me rephrase that. What is heavy on you right now that potentially you have the power to control or shift?
Well, if I'm just being completely honest,
Please.
It's finding balance. Like it's heavy on me because, as you know, we are our own team. We do have a booking agent. I'm grateful for that. But we do everything. We wear so many hats. And trying to find the balance where I can put down my phone and stop working and like having boundaries. Like I'm just saying right now, like I'm aware of it. I recently just bought the brick. I don't know if you've seen that, the brick where you can make it where you can't get into certain apps without being back at that thing.
Oh, I've heard about this.
I bought it. It's been delivered. Haven't started using it yet, but it is sitting in the living room. And so,
how long has it been sitting in the living room?
A couple days.
Just a couple days.
Couple days. Because we've been on the road.
Okay.
But I'm aware it's so hard to stop working, and I'm aware of it. And so I am really, that's heavy on me because I'm so grateful for all the things that are happening in our life, for the growth, for all the things, but I need to learn how to turn it off.
Yeah. Fair.
That's good. I think maybe something that's heavy on me is thinking about my social life. We're on the road most of the time, and we don't see people here in Nashville, our home in Nashville, very often. Mm-hmm. And so when you're gone for 2-3 months at a time, everybody here in Nashville is just like you're just out of their life, basically, unless you call. And guys don't really call each other to
Not
talk like girls can.
You could, though.
Could. I don't know how long the conversation would last.
Sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I feel like, for a while, that I've wanted to develop what is a good way for me to stay in connectivity with people. And honestly, one great way that maybe you have installed on your phone is an app called Marco Polo.
I love Marco Polo.
You ever heard of it? Yeah. That is a way that I actually do stay in contact with some of my friends on the road, and it's been really good. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to figure out, like, a better way to be in connectivity with people, I think.
Might be time to pick up the phone. No pressure.
You think?
It's heavy on me. For you now.
Also, I think that's balance. That's balance, too.
It's funny because girls can pick up the phone and talk to each other and talk about whatever for a long time. Guys are more like you want to do something, a common interest, right? You want to
have an activity.
To play golf together or play pickleball or shoot pool or whatever it is. And so I'm not there, Yeah. I don't know. It's different.
All right, balance.
Right.
Well, okay, then let's talk about that because I said to you when you came in that I'm, in certain way, I'm really inspired by the life y'all have created, and y'all have created it. For me making music, it has to be on really somebody else. I don't play guitar. My husband and I are getting to create this together, which is really, really cool. And we've gotten to do stuff together, but I don't have a partner that makes music. And so when I think about, the Nashville idea, there's a guy that I write with quite a bit. And I remember before I had a kid, he would always be like, I have to write in the morning. And then like, we could be in the middle of an incredible chorus. And he's like, 3:00, got to go to bus stop. And I'm like, dude, you're killing the vibe. And he's like, well, they'll kill me if I don't pick up my kid. But the idea that you guys don't have a shut off, like this probably goes back to the balance because it's the yin and yang of, but you love it. You're so passionate about it. You get to make music at home together all the time. That can also probably be equally, you need a shut off valve for that. So how much, I guess the question, how much of the passion, the creating of music, is there a time when you're like, okay, I'm doing this, we're writing this or we're singing this right now for fun, or it's work? Are there two different kind of threads you have running, or did they blend?
What's it feel like for you? It feels like two different threads for me.
Go ahead.
Unless I'm songwriting. Like songwriting is the only part of doing the music career that I feel like I really am at peace and really enjoy. But all the other stuff, like, and I love performing, but performing, all the other hats we wear, managing ourselves, marketing, promo, is all like a totally different thread than it would be for like leisure activity or taking off of work. And it's hard to swap between the two, and the balance is tough, yeah.
Stay there a real quick second because the show is about the healing power of writing. And so if writing to you that's your peaceful time, why? Tell our listeners why. Because this show is not trying to convince anyone to become a professional writer. If that happens by as a byproduct, I think that's incredible. I think a lot of people end up with books that didn't plan on it, or end up in something just by telling our own story. So why is the writing piece to you? What do you find through that? Do you find other versions of yourself, or what are you continuing to evolve by writing as much as you do?
Wow, yeah. What is it about writing? I don't know. I haven't quite completely delved into that, I guess. But there's something about it that you feel like you're not doing something, that I feel like I'm not doing something that isn't innately me. When I'm marketing or promoting, it feels like, oh, I'm stretching to do something that I not normally would think of or do. But songwriting is like, wow, I'm actually reaching inside myself and trying to be more me, I guess, in a way.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. For me, I just was sitting here thinking about this. So we just wrote a brand new song a couple days ago, and
it sounds like this. Oh, no, not yet.
I mean,
it's coming on 4.
It is going to be on 4. We just recorded it too. We wrote it and recorded it, and it's a song that we wrote about the man that I called Dad. He was my stepdad, and he died 22 years ago, and it was just wild. We were at a show watching our friend Logan Mack, and during one of his songs, this song idea just started bubbling up in me. And I was like, wow, because my dad died when I was 19. And so I was like, that's just crazy. So even at the show, I just started writing down some ideas, and I knew that I wanted to write this song with Logan and Ben. And so I just started writing out all these ideas, and we were like kind of writing from through text, and then we Zoomed, and it came so effortless and easy. And it's a song that has been sitting in there for like over 20 years. And it's crazy because when you ask us to be on this podcast, that song had not formed. It hadn't even happened. But I guess it was kind of like a healing thing that I needed to, because when my dad died when I was 19, it was really hard on our family. And so I just like stepped up, and I was like, I need to be the leader. I need to not be sad because everybody else is. And it's crazy how after this song, I kind of feel like, man, that was kind of like a healing moment for me that I had just kind of pushed away. And I just thought that was interesting that this has just all kind of happened within the past couple of days. And just to tie into the healing power of music, for me, it is therapy and it is free. Mm-hmm. And when I write, I'm not good at being disciplined with writing like Ben. Like when I write, I want to write because I need to get through something or talk about something. And for me, that was really healing, and I'm excited for people to hear it.
Oh, your time is up. Your
Well,
time
see you
is up.
later.
Right.
I thought that was my phone, and I
You
was like,
nailed it, actually. That was great.
I thought it was my phone, and I was like,
It
oh
was
my
me.
gosh.
I was the faux pas on my own show.
I love it.
I love that because I really believe that songs, ideas, whatever it is, find us at the right time, or we find it at the right time. The only way I can explain it, because as y'all are both talking, I believe writing is channeling. Now, when I say channeling, people think like crystal ball and weird woo, but when I say the word channeling, I believe that's divine messages. That's how I like talk to God for me. And all I can say is, we moved out here into the woods here where we're sitting, and it changed a couple of years ago. It changed my output. Now, listen, I also keep preaching we should write, and I realize I haven't really been doing writing in a while, but I'm like you. I'm like, it's since I don't play guitar and I'm, I mess around a piano, but I have to, I feel like spend
Mm-hmm.
years of collecting, and then I just dive in with somebody and I'm like, we're going to write 12 songs right now. But when we moved out here, I remember I would walk outside. It's the first time I haven't lived in the city or suburbia. And I'd walk outside and be like, a whole song, like melody and all these lyrics are dumped in my head. Well, that's not me. How could that be me? I mean, it's a collection of, life lived and what I'm seeing in perspective, but I do believe it's coming from somewhere else. So with all that said, what is your take on? I know y'all are people of faith and certainly have lived a lot of life. What is your take on that when something's like you just said, the song about your stepdad that showed up now, like that relationship was
Yeah.
a long time ago. How do you feel about when things show up and you're like, why now? Why not 20 years ago? Or why not 10 years from now? Why do you think things show up when they do?
That's a great question. I feel like it was just, I wasn't ready. God, I was 19, I was young and dumb, and just, I wasn't ready to see the beauty in something. And I wasn't ready to, I guess, really go into that spot. But I thought I had it all together, because I've always been the strong one of my family. I've always, been there for everybody else, and very empathetic and want to take on I can't help it. So I guess it was just at a time that I needed to learn something in a lesson, or maybe I just wasn't listening until now. And so, yeah.
Boom. Well, and then so for you, Ben, because if we want, let's backtrack a minute. So we met playing downtown in Nashville on Broadway, which is a very different place now, 20 years later,
Right.
than when we all got here. For the most part, negatively, I will say. I mean, it's if you didn't know Broadway 20 years ago or 30, whatever, you'd think it's great.
Yeah.
But knowing what we know from back then, and I think that these relationships for us were forged because there weren't 5,000 bars and 25 stories and drunken bachelorettes at the time. God bless you. Keep coming. It's great for our economy. However, it was like we had this tight-knit little crew that found each other in a real time of chaos while we were trying to find ourselves.
Yeah.
And you and Ben have, you said you started off the show saying you're so grateful for him. You said inside to me that you're the kite and he pulls the string and like brings you back and grounds you, and that balance is so cool. So looking back on that time and what downtown Broadway did for us, it does have a lot of toxicity to it, but there's also so many beautiful stories down there if you'll just sit around and watch. So what do you see of Kassie, knowing the Kassie that you met 17 years ago, 18 years ago, y'all met, something like that?
I've been his girlfriend for 18 years.
Oh, it's going great. And what do you see in Kassie now? A, that you did see back then when you married her, and B, that you didn't see then. Like, what's the growth you see in her now, and also, why did you marry her? That's a lot.
Those are a lot of questions right there.
What did you see in her then that you liked, and what do you see her now that you like?
Let's see. Yeah. Well, I definitely saw a creative personality, like a personality that wasn't trying to just be like everybody else. I think you were kind of setting yourself apart, even by the way that you dressed. And as I remember that specifically when we met at the small church. Yeah, and so I think that is still the same way, just not wanting to always just be like everybody else, but be set apart in a creative way. And that's still around today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
That's why you married me.
That
'Cause
was
you dress
another
differently.
question. That was a separate
Did you say
question.
that in the vows? I take you, Kassie, because you dress differently. Shout out. What now? Who's the? I mean, she's still the same woman, of course, but the evolution of Kassie. Is there something you see in her now that needed this time to evolve into? The answer can also be no, by the way.
Yeah, these are good. Let's see. I think, yeah, you were wilder back then, for sure.
I was waiting for this part to come out. I was like, why is he
I was
dancing
hoping-
around it?
I was hoping we were going to go there.
Yeah, you were wilder back then.
Pre-Jesus. Go ahead. I was wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think throughout the years you've, I don't know, matured, grown up, realized certain things in life didn't matter as much as you thought they mattered, and
Yeah.
realized other things mattered that you didn't know that mattered. So that's a part of a lot of people's story growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, well, I say especially here, but especially in just creativity. And sometimes I get so blown away. I'm like, when I think back of myself and be like, oh wow, where I am now is I must have I have had this awakening. But also, I'm 47 now. Like age just does that to you. You pass the 40 threshold, and you're like, I should probably figure some stuff out. And so that happens as well. I'd like to, because I want people to get to hear you. You're going to do a couple songs for us today. I'd like to do one now.
Okay.
And before we do, I got to tell you too, I hadn't listened to, I've heard a couple songs here and there, but I obviously, in preparing to sit down with you guys today, spent a lot of time with your music, and listening to your music with headphones in bed is a very profound thing, by the way. You guys are mad scientists, and you do something very different. To me, I feel like, I think my take on Americana is that it was anything in commercial music. It's like we had pop, rock, country, blah, blah, blah. And if no one knew what to do with it, they threw it into this Americana category. And like, let's call it Americana. I don't know what it is called Americana. But you guys, and I know you label yourself, if we have to, in that Americana vibe. But to me, especially what y'all do creating with somebody so intimately that you know and love and spend your whole life with, what y'all do is very different. So like if the Grammys were going to call tomorrow, which they might now, and say, hey, we want to put you up for a Grammy, but we don't have a category for you. What, like if you could make up, or without boxing it, what is Goldpine that's not a genre? Like what is Goldpine to you guys that you've been able to create as a couple?
Storytellers.
Ooh, boom.
That would be the name of our genre. I think.
That's good. Yeah, storytelling is a huge part of our live show. If anybody's ever seen us live, they know we talk about the songs, the inspiration behind the songs, a little bit of backstory, just so that they feel like they come alive to people during the live show. So yeah, storytellers, that's good.
Yeah. It's a big part of what we do.
Well, you can hear it in the music. I mean, I was sort of blown away by, and I say this, and I mean this as a compliment. Sometimes I think things sometimes, the more basic we make something, the more profound it is. So like just by saying, she sat down at the table that had blue an elephant on it, whatever, just looking around. The more like precise we get by just looking around and saying it, it's so profound, because now people get to listen to y'all's very specific details and try to put it, it becomes a movie in their head, but they also get to place themselves in it. And it's so weird to me when something is real specific, but we're still able to put our own spin on it.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was writing to be like, I want to connect to the masses, and you'll never do it if you're doing that. You have to like get so I guess, honed in on your own thing. And you guys do that really well. So I asked you to sing a couple songs today. And I said, don't tell me which, because I want to be surprised. But what's the first one you want to do, but also why? Because this isn't necessarily come in and sing the hits. This is a show about the healing power of writing. So why is this first number work within that space?
Well, the first song that we're going to do is a song called My Favorite Parts of You. And
Oh, good.
it's, my mom was sick for about 3 years, and she was my world. She was my best friend. And one of the last times that she was in the hospital, we wrote this song for her. And we went up, it was during COVID, and so you could only have one person in the room at a time. And I really wanted both of us to be there for the first time that she ever heard her song. But we just wanted to be respectful. And so I snuck Ben in an emergency exit, and we both were there. And she loved it. She said this was the best song we've ever written. This is actually the song that we won the songwriting contest with. And I think the reason is because it just comes straight from the heart. So this is a song that we wrote for my mom. It's on our album too. It's called My Favorite Parts of You. And it's just a little song to my mama.
What's her name?
Her name was Deborah Miller.
Deborah.
It was Saturday at the Conoco. You were in the back cutting checks for payroll. I was counting up some play money and pretending I was answering your phone. We'd lock it up for the night. Said you wouldn't be back till Monday morning light. And on the way you let me steer while I was on the passenger side. See, I've been watching you, and I've been thinking it too. How all the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. The sound of your screen door closing brings me back to a table overflowing with large elbow mac and cheese, them southern boiled pinto beans, all the pots and pans just a soaking. You turned and asked me what I think. Did I maybe want some unsweetened drink? You filled my glass up to the top. I'd go and grab the lemon by the sink. See, I've been watching you, and I've been thinking it too. How all the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. All the things I do, well, they remind me of you.
all the best parts of me
are my favorite parts of you.
all the best parts of me
Are my favorite parts of you.
Okay. Hey, Deborah. Deborah flickered the lights back in the kitchen earlier when we started talking about her, didn't she?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
It was wild. I'm so glad you picked that song. So a couple things. When I was listening to that song, I had two separate thoughts, and they're sort of conflicting, but also sort of go together, I guess. But one was, that's beautiful, by the way. And kudos to you for having the balls to play harmonica.
yeah.
Like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, it was so great. And also, it's so fun to watch you play. You play everyone can see. You have your own really cool style. It's really both entertaining and soulful and authentic. It doesn't feel forced. Some people it's not forced. Nothing about Ben is forced. So that my two thoughts were like thinking of you talking so specifically about like, did she really work at a
Yeah, it's all true.
I guess okay.
Yeah.
Thinking of that, I had the two thoughts were I'm sad for children today. We have a 7-year-old, and I start thinking about listening to that. I'm like, what is she going to remember about me? Like, what specific details would she remember about me? And I was like, what sort of like this movie playing out for me with you at the gas station playing office, so to speak, watching your mom do that and you kind of mimicking that. I'm like, what are our kids going to remember? Because there's so much chaos and so much distraction today. And it made me sort of sad for kids today that they don't have these kind of simpler moments. And then also it's like, but also they have it easier. And every generation gets easier and harder. And I'm like, why can't we balance out the back roads with the evolution of like comforts that we have today that we didn't have then, But also I started thinking back, I don't have a lot of specific memories of my childhood. I have very like sweeping memories, but I don't have those detailed descriptions. So my parents are still alive. Did you, with your mom, did those specific details come? And maybe this goes back to the song about your stepdad too. I don't want to say, does it take somebody dying for us to remember them? But I kind of also want to ask that question. Did your memories get stronger or more focused in after losing parents? Or was that is it something that you've always been able to hone in on?
Well, with my mom, we were so close. Like the memories, and they're not all good memories,
Yeah.
But I remember a lot, and that song just I will say, they say write about what you know, and I write about family a lot, and I've always been super honest and open and transparent about things that I've gone through, and so I've written about some of the not so glamorous things, and so I really wanted to honor her with that song because and it was easy, it was simple. I because when we were sitting around the table, Ben was like, what do you want to say? And I was like, well, the thing about it, I was like, just I get so much from her, but all the best parts of me are my favorite parts of her, And now we were just like, whoa. So that just came easy. I will say with my stepdad, I've never called him my stepdad, by the way. I was just, but he was my dad. He adopted us, me and my brother, when we were 5, and we took his last name. He was very, very strict, and we weren't very close. I was a mama's girl all through. And so I never truly connected with him until later in life when I started doing music. And so as far as the song with him, when that comes out and you guys hear that, it's like a whole, just it's a memory, it's a metaphor, but it's just me kind of tapping back into remembering him and not just
the hard times. We're getting deep today.
Listen, we didn't come to play.
Okay. I'm like,
I don't want to ask you about the weather.
good.
next time you're going to need the tissues out on the table that say we should write. You can make your own tissues.
Yeah, these tissues sponsored by Diamonds or whatever. What do we want? What do we want? Okay. Okay, so so many questions. So many questions, so many thoughts. Because I also think, so your song, Alabama Born, I don't know whose story that is.
Me.
You too?
Not me. I'm Iowa born.
Yeah, Iowa Born. You know, I started, and y'all, I'd like y'all's broader take, both of you, on this, because in that you say something to the effect of she was married to a man with a
heavy hand.
which
Yeah.
obviously we can, think about.
Which is my
No.
biological father.
Okay. And I started thinking about that line, and I was like, wow, it's really tricky when we tell our own story, by proxy, we're telling somebody else's story, but from our perspective, right? So you can say that and realize you're telling a story that she or he maybe or maybe didn't want to have told, but it's also your story. And so that's tricky to navigate. What does that feel like? I'm gonna start with you, Ben, actually, even though that's your story. But just in general, when you're writing and you realize you got to talk about someone else because other people play a part in it, but they didn't ask to talk about it. Like, how do you navigate that? And then I'll ask the kind of, what does it emote in you since you're like telling someone else's story. But how do you navigate that, or do you even think about it? Like, I mean, if you do, like, I guess we're all living in public consumption, so be careful what you do to me. You might end up in a song. But how do you navigate that?
I don't know if I've discovered the answer to that question, because I do think about it and considered writing songs about. We've considered writing songs about certain topics and certain people, and then I'm thinking, that person is going to hear this song. I know they'll know it's about them, and so that worries me a little bit.
Taylor Swift has made a great
Right.
career
I know
off of
she
it,
has.
so
So it worries me a little bit, and so I don't know. In some way, you do have to. In some way, you do have to shy away from it, because you can't just tell one side of a story and just expect the public to say that's the story, you know?
right.
But on the other hand, you do want to share your story, and so there might be a creative way around it, I think, is the deal. Like, maybe you're putting it off as if it's a totally other people, or I don't know. But it's a tough question.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, I had a buddy of mine said one day I said, "Do you go to therapy?" And he said, "No, I write songs." And we sort of joked about that, and then I realized, oh gosh, how many people are disguising, whether it's songwriting or authors or just writing in your journal, which, by the way, I believe everyone should do. Maybe you don't want to call it a journal. Maybe a dude doesn't want to call it a journal. My husband got a journal the other day, and he said he kind of fought it, but it could be a bar napkin, the notes on your phone, whatever it is. I believe wholeheartedly that you got it, even if nobody sees it. If you don't get it out, it'll come out at the most inopportune time.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience. So what to you then, Kassie? Back to that. I guess you balancing that as well. But how much of your writing is for you, or when you write something, how do you sort of navigate? This was for no one to see. This was for me and Ben to talk about. This is for public consumption. I can put it out. Do you have boundaries around that?
I don't really have boundaries around that. I mean, I write a lot. If you like go deep back, I mean, I write about family all the time, and I mean, I change the names. I put like mom and dad.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Mom instead of
This
Deborah.
song's about a lady. Let's call her Mom.
I mean, at least I didn't say the name. No, man, if you only knew, if I could put all our songs out here and then I could just write and show you who they're about, you'd be like, wow. I mean, never is it made up. It's very rarely that it's made up. I'll say that. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm just super honest and open. And honestly, to be straight up, I find humor in everything. And people may think this is super dark, but I mean, most of them are dead anyways. And so, like, they can't really fight it. They can't say anything about them. None of them are alive. That's terrible. But
No, there's something freeing in that. I mean, I think about that. Okay, if we're being honest, I think about mom and dad if you're watching, love you. But I think about what will I say when certain people aren't around, versus what and
But
not,
yeah.
not even consciously, just like, oh, that came out, and I guess it was time, or
Yeah. So I don't, it's not like, because we've written stuff about my biological father, my stepdad, my mom, and my grandpa, and none of them are here. But honestly, my family is also awesome. They wouldn't care. They don't care. I've written a lot of songs about my brother. He knows about some of them, and he doesn't know about some of them. But they're team players. But also they don't
played their part.
They don't get an option.
Yeah.
So no, I think I'm still working on boundaries everywhere. Clearly, balance and boundaries. I'm working on it.
Note to self:
BB.
be careful of your relationship with Cassie. I think about it too. My parents a lot of times are like, I know they want so much greatness for me, and I'm like, I literally, okay, truth, laying our cards on the table. I'm like, okay, if people around you want success, I'm like, I'll probably have to say some uncomfortable things. If you want, as a writer, if I want to get to some certain place, it's going to require reckless, perhaps, vulnerability. It's like, how much do you want? How much are you willing to share in order to get to that place of freedom that you're looking for? I guess I don't know, and I don't. Again, I don't. It's probably age where the balance comes, and then also getting over the people pleasing and being like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say some stuff. And intention, I mean, intention is everything. It took me a long time to figure that out. And it's like, why am I putting this in a song? Because I want exposure, because I want to capitalize off of my trauma or whatever. Or am I doing this for me to work something out? And I yesterday morning started thinking about like trauma versus truth. And I think the first half, I used to like rely on trauma to tell a story. Now I'm like, no, let's rely on truth to tell a story.
That's so good.
And that was a big shift, I feel like, Okay, I would love, we all do another song.
Sure.
This one's going to be a hardcore death metal plot twist.
Dun, dun, dun.
Start.
I let Ben pick this one.
You did, all right. Why this one, Ben? Why, Ben? Why?
Well, you talked about song and having to do with healing and whatnot. This is a song off the record 3, the current record. It's the last song on the record, and it's also the song that we end almost all of our live sets on. It was a very powerful song for me. It's a realization of the power of the grace of God in my life, and it's what I want to leave people who come to our show with as they drive home, as they lay in their bed at night, because it was so powerful to me, and I think it can be very powerful to other people. It's a song called The Stumbling Stone, and if the listeners out there know, the stumbling stone is a metaphor used in scriptures in the Old and New Testaments, where Jesus was mentioned as the stumbling stone the builders rejected. And I'd heard that all my life because I grew up in church, and I always kind of like wondered about that. What exactly does that mean? Like, Jesus came, and there's all these good things about him, but the stumbling stone, I mean, it's such a negative connotation, right? Mm. And I realized that, and there's examples of it in the scriptures as well, that the people that stumbled over him were the people that wanted to do everything on their own. They wanted to be their own righteousness. They wanted to earn everything that they'd had. And when I realized the power of grace, that in order to receive grace, I had to come and know that I was just a completely broken person with no way to pull myself up, with no way to save myself, that I was just completely broken. And that's when you can receive grace, because you know that there's a Savior out there that can take that place for you, the place of a savior. And it's honestly a very freeing concept for me, a freeing concept to realize, boy, things don't depend, your righteousness doesn't depend on your works and your striving. And that's what this song is about.
Come on. Well, while you pick up that guitar, I got to tell you, when I heard this song, I thought, is this an old hymnal? I swear to God, I thought, this is an old hymnal that they are. I just assumed it was something, and I was like, or did they write this? And I went back and forth trying to figure that out. And then the note that you hit on the album, please go and download this album and that last track. This note you hit at the end, at least on the album, took me to space. Like, took me to space. I was like, how is she sustaining that note? So this is gorgeous. I'm so grateful you picked it. This is Goldpine, y'all. We're here with Kassie and Ben on We Should Write.
I was walking the road alone. I stumbled on the stumbling stone. My shoulders suffering a heavy load. I stumbled on the stumbling stone. Glory to God in the highest, for he has done great things. But men of earth are stripped to silence when they behold their King. Every seed that I had sown fell upon the stumbling Glory to God in the highest, for he has done great things. But men of earth are stripped to silence when they behold their King. They behold their King.
Good Lord. Come on. That takes me back to my point of, I mean, that's magic, you know? That's there's something so spiritual about these songs that were gifted. And when like, y'all, that, I don't, I'm sort of speechless because that was, first of all, for you listener, was very hard to do. That is not what they just hit. The control you have, the control y'all have together, everything they just did is very, very difficult. Plus, it sounds like they wrote a hymnal that we will be listening to 5,000 years from now, in my opinion. So when you guys wrote that song, I mean, did you know when you finished that, where you're like, oh gosh, that was something just happened there?
Boy, that song's been around for a long time with us. and we tried to record it multiple times and multiple years, and nothing seemed to fit. So it's hard to remember when we wrote it. Honestly, I think even before we recorded it, we've been ending our sets on that song just because there was something about it that I knew was very powerful, and it was something that was powerful to me. As a side note, I used to run sound at the Listening Room Cafe in Nashville. And when I was running sound there, I would run sound for a round with Brian White, not
The writer or the singer?
The writer.
The writer.
Brian White, the writer. And he would always end his writer's round on a gospel tune. And I'm sitting there behind the sound booth, and I am like, I love this. He plays his hit songs. He has songs by
Dude, yeah, he writes gospel,
Yeah.
but he's also wrote I've Been Watching You for
Right.
Rodney Atkins that talks about French fries in your car and a
Exactly.
Stretch Armstrong.
So he's
And
got
then he
some
hits
hit
you with
songs.
gospel.
And then what he wants people to remember as people leave his songwriter round is that he plays this gospel song. And it was just so powerful to me, and I kind of like really took that in, and I wanted to do something like that because it was so powerful to me. And that song, Stumbling Stone, ended up, I was like, I think this is it when we wrote it. And so, yeah, I love it.
It's yeah. I mean, it leaves you something. Well, whatever belief you have, whatever faith you have, and if you don't have any faith, if you don't have faith, and then you hear them sing that and don't believe in something, what are we even doing here? No judgment on what you believe. I'm the believer that you got to believe in something. Figure out what it is to you, but got to believe in something.
And that is the cool thing about songwriting is that everybody has these different beliefs. People are in different religions and whatnot, and we can all say our piece in our songs, in our art. And not everybody's going to agree with that, and not everybody's going to even want to hear that. In fact, we've had a lot of pushback on this particular song throughout our years of touring. Pushback. I can't believe you would do something like that. Like,
What?
we don't want to be evangelized to.
like a
and-
crowd. Somebody in the crowd would
In
say
the
that?
crowd, yeah.
Or writing us emails or letters or, yeah.
And
Don't listen.
and I hate to get to
Wow.
the point where people can't hear other people's sides. Now, I could understand if there was something offensive or if there was something like, I'm trying to push something on you. But if
Right.
someone's telling their story, at least you don't agree with it, fine. But we can listen to it and consider it, you know? And so I love that about art. And I hate to get to that point where people don't want to listen to other people's sides. So, yeah.
But I think also if you get to a point where when it doesn't bother you, when someone's that's the real mastery, when you can put it out there, not even worrying or not maybe it doesn't even cross your mind what someone's going to say, and you get it, you get the pushback, whatever. But I mean, especially these days, but it's always been, people like to be like, oh, we're in such trying times. We've always been in trying times, you know. Jesus was crucified 2,000 plus years ago for speaking his truth. It's always been the case. It's just what's relative to us in our time. And that's why it circles back to the very beginning. We said, what are you grateful for, Ben? And you led with for art and connection, for being able to tell our stories and express ourselves in this way. From a writing perspective, Kassie, what we'll take it back to end with gratitude again. What is writing done for your life? And I don't even mean in the professional. Y'all are professional writers. Let's take professionalism out of it. Let's be non-professional here for a second. I'm real good at that.
Amateur.
Let's be amateurs for a minute. I also was, by the way, kind of slapped in the face with Stephen King's message recently. I'm reading his book on writing right now. It's called On Writing. It's his writing memoir. And he says, amateurs write when they're inspired. Professionals put their butts in the seats every day. And I was like, oh, crap. I've been thinking that I write when I'm inspired as some sort of like badge of honor. And I was like, oh, crap, I'm an amateur.
Amateur,
Shoot, I'm an
professional.
amateur.
Professional. Yep.
Crap.
Also, I just wanted to say that I am a professional at being an amateur.
I like that. Oh, let's make
Wow.
that T-shirt. This T-shirt sponsored by Everyday dose
Diamonds.
coffee
Oh,
or diamonds.
Diamond.
What has writing done for your life? That where would you be without writing? I'll say it that way.
Writing for me has helped me to be able to express the way I feel about things when I couldn't do it with verbal words. So even like if I just have stuff written down, like the song about my mom, or maybe it's something that I haven't been able to speak yet, but I can sing it or write it, and then it's released. Because sometimes there's some people, and I'll say I'm guilty of this. It's my personality. I'm very excitable. I mean, I get excited and I want to interject and I want to talk and I want to be a part of the conversation. Yeah, like a puppy. And it's not that I'm not interested, but sometimes I get so excited because I'm so into what you're saying. So I think that sometimes that people in the world, you can be trying to express something and you can't get it out because there's people like me but that's one way that you can get it out without anyone interrupting you is through writing. And so for me, it's being able to say what sometimes I can't say. And then if nobody even read it, at least I said it through paper and closure. Like it's like comforting and closure to me. Because sometimes I just can't get through something and then you can write it and you're like, it's weird how you feel like, okay, I can get through it.
Yeah.
And
why did I wait so long?
Right? Yeah. Why did I wait 22 years to write the song about my dad? Also, well, never mind. I just have to wait till it comes out.
Well, okay, on that note then, because we're about out of time, which makes me sad, but it also makes me happy to say, if you want more, stick around. They're going to do one song after we stop here, behind the paywall, so to speak. I don't even know what that means yet because this is a brand new format. But if you stick around, there'll be some bonus content, and maybe you'll get a brand new song that no one's heard yet.
Oh, maybe.
Wow. And by maybe, now you have to do that. See, I say it during the show, so you're stuck to it. So yeah, we'll circle back to that. Ben? What is writing done? Not the professional Ben, but just the behind closed doors. What kind of man does writing make you?
Yeah.
Besides a professional one, dang it.
Wow. I don't know. I think it helps me to explore the inside of me, if you will. If I wasn't writing, I wouldn't maybe have explored many of the reasons that I feel the way that I feel, and to consider like we write about love a lot, to consider what love really means on the deepest level. We wrote a song on the new album called Love Is that delved down into like, what do you really, really, really mean when you say that you love somebody? And stuff like that might not have come up if I wasn't writing songs. So
That's good.
and maybe that can help other people to delve into that in themselves too.
That's huge. And the helping other people, I mean, I think that personally, I believe that when we're doing something that lights us up and also maybe it helps one other person, boom, then that's the magic. Yeah. That's when we're living our purpose on this earth. I guess when your passion meets your purpose, when those things collide, it's like, boom. And so I'll leave you with this. On one of your, I think it's on that song, or you can tell me what song it's on. The very last lyric in one of your songs hit me like a ton of bricks this morning, laying in bed with my headphones next to my husband and dog, who were both snoring at the time. No. Not you, Seamus. And it was paraphrasing something to the effect of I worry about tomorrow, but worry doesn't worry about me. What's the line?
Oh, wow. I haven't thought about that song in a long time.
Worry.
It's the last verse. But tomorrow, maybe it is tomorrow doesn't worry about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might know better than us,
Yeah, I think
actually.
that is it.
I'm gonna have to pull it up real quick. And hang on, hold please, because
But
this feels
tomorrow never
important.
worries about me.
The reason I want to
You're
take
like,
a minute
"Ooh,
to get to it
I wrote
is
that.
because
Who
it-
wrote that line? That's so
Oh,
good.
that one's you. I love playing the game of who gets to claim
Oh
the
man.
greatness. Oh wait, you know what? I have it here. Hang on. I want to pull it up because it was. I know this is really riveting for everybody. Okay, it is.
It'd be a call
I worry
about
about-
tomorrow. Oh,
I
yeah.
worry about tomorrow, but it never worries about me.
Oh, what a good one.
You're like, we're great.
We're
Oh
professionals.
man.
I worry about tomorrow, but it never worries about me. Why that hit me personally this morning. I just thought I'm worrying about a lot right now. We all are, obviously. I'm in a real time, including this, doing this, moving this over to video format, taking a leap of faith. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know anything, but I know I have to do it, and I've had to release all the worries around that, and just know that I'm doing something that lights me up, and hopefully it'll light somebody else up. But when you think about worry from a tomorrow standpoint and think about tomorrow's going to come no matter what, maybe not for me, but for in general it will. There was something about that line that I can't even explain it. And I think that's the point of writing and consuming it. I can't even explain it, but I know something, like I felt like this like shift happened in my body when I heard that line. So thank you for continuing to say the things. We never know what we're going to write, put out, say in conversation. And I just want to encourage people to write stuff down, to say the thing that something in your gut is saying, say that to that person, write that down, share it, because you may never know, but it might change somebody's entire life. And that's the point of it all to me.
That's good. Thank you for saying that too, because we hadn't thought about that song in a really long time. But this is a very reason, like I love songwriting, is because you hear something, you can't quite explain it, like you said, but it kind of like shakes up your paradigm a little bit. And I've heard songs like that, and I just know how powerful that is. So thank you for saying that. That's really cool. Yeah.
Y'all are really cool. Guys, this has been We Should Write, a show about the healing power of writing. It's executive produced by, well, me. Technically produced by Seamus and Rich here in the background. Thank you guys for putting this together. This has been the first video installment of this, with much more to come forever and ever and always. Keep telling your stories. Keep singing. You guys really are gracing the world, including myself. So thank you for being here. Goldpine, check them out at goldpinemusic.com. More to come. Love you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
We should write.
Right?
Right.